Hello friends, today we are going to start a new chapter, number 12, electromagnetic induction. During the early decades of 19th century, Oersted, Ampere and few other scientists give the relationship between electricity and magnetism. They suggested that the stationary charge produces a electric field around it. It was suggested by Coulomb early in 17th century. Thereafter, Oersted and Ampere suggested that moving charges produces a magnetic field. Then question arises that can we produce electric field or current by moving magnet? Means opposite is true. Means moving charges produces a magnetic field, whether moving magnetic field produces a electric field. In 1831, Faraday in England performed a series of experiments with the generation of electricity by means of a magnetic flux. In the same year, Joseph Henry demonstrated that electric current is produced in a closed circuit or coil when subjected to time varying magnetic field. The experimental observations of Faraday's are given below. Before starting it, we are revise terms. A magnetic flux. What is the meaning of magnetic flux? The magnetic lines of forces passing normally through a given area. It is called as a magnetic flux. In short, more the magnetic field, more the magnetic lines of forces, more the flux is there. Less the magnetic field, less the lines of forces, less the magnetic flux. It is a scalar quantity. Magnetic flux means it is the dot product of the magnetic field, means magnetic induction and area vector. Thereafter, another quantity is there, magnetic field. In old books, it is called as a magnetic induction, but in revised syllabus, it is called as a magnetic field. Because in some new books, this magnetic induction word is discarded and magnetic field is word is introduced. Thereafter, magnetic flux per unit area, it's called as the magnetic field. Magnetic field can be taken as magnetic flux divided by area, or flux equals to B into A. Thereafter, we go through Faraday's magnetic coil experiment. Look here in this figure, there is a coil which is connected to sensitive galvanometer, and here is the magnet. And we know that when current is passing through the closed circuit, then galvanometer shows a deflection. And here, interesting fact is that there is no battery applied. Means coil is connected directly to galvanometer. The function of galvanometer is that it shows a deflection, and here is a magnet. Thereafter, we go through directly a Faraday's a magnet and coil experiment. Let us see observation made by the Faraday's. Look here in these figures. Towards motion of the magnet, current induced in the circuit consisting of a coil. Means actually what happens when magnet is moving toward the coil. As magnet is moving toward the coil, the magnetic field associated with the coil or linked with the coil goes on increasing. As magnetic field increases, the magnetic lines of forces passing normally through the coil goes on increasing. And as magnetic lines of forces goes on increasing, magnetic flux also goes on increasing. Means this coil is situated in increasing magnetic field, okay, or increasing magnetic flux. Then what happens there then? The current is induced in the circuit. Look here, no battery is applied in the closed circuit. Still current is induced, current is produced. This produced current is called as the induced current. Okay. Thereafter, another observation in this figure you are looking, when magnet is moving away from the coil, as magnet is moving away from the coil, again current is induced in the coil or closed circuit in opposite direction. Then again question is that why current is induced? As magnet is moving away, the magnetic field associated with the coil goes on decreasing. Means coil is situated in decreasing magnetic field, or the lines of forces, magnetic lines of forces passing normally through the coil goes on decreasing. And as magnetic lines of forces goes on decreasing, no doubt magnetic flux goes on decreasing. Means this coil is situated in decreasing magnetic field. And as this coil is situated in decreasing magnetic field, again current is produced in it, and it sends a current in the closed circuit. Okay. And thereafter connected galvanometer shows a deflection in opposite direction, means opposite current is flowing. Thereafter, instead of magnetic coil, coil is moving towards or away. Means magnet is kept fixed and coil is moving away or towards. Means as doesn't matter. Means magnet is fixed but coil is moving away, again coil is decreasing magnetic field. Or when magnet is fixed and coil is moving toward the magnet, means again coil is in increasing magnetic field. Then again same thing happens, means current is produced. In short, there is a relative motion between coil and magnet. Whether magnet is moving towards or away, or whether coil is moving towards or away, doesn't matter. Again current is produced. Then another interesting fact is that if the polarity of the magnet is changed, mean fourth point we go through, if the polarity of the magnet, instead of N pole is facing to the coil, S pole is facing, then what happens? The direction of induced current also changes. Means current direction reverses. Means suppose towards motion clockwise current is flowing through the circuit, suppose, then away motion it is anti-clockwise direction. Thereafter, the magnitude of induced current depends upon relative speed of the coil with respect to magnet. Also depends upon number of turns. Another fact is that in this experiment, when faster the motion of the magnet, away or toward doesn't matter, or faster the motion of the coil, means relative motion, then what happens? The rate of change of magnetic flux is more. More the change in flux per unit time. And as the more the change in flux per unit time, then what happens? More the current produced in the coil. More the current means, according to Ohm's law, more the voltage is generated in the coil. More the EMF is produced in the coil. Then means the magnitude of induced current in the closed circuit is depends upon how fast the magnet is moving, or how fast there is a change in magnetic flux. Thereafter we go through another thing. Induced current exists so long as there is a relative motion between the magnet. Means as soon as the motion of magnet or coil is stops, then no EMF is generated or no current is produced in the circuit. That means this induced current is produced in the circuit so long as there is a relative motion. These are the observations made by the Faraday. Thereafter we go through next one, coil and coil experiment. Here we go through coil, magnet and magnet experiment. There is a coil and coil experiment. Then here consider two coils, primary coil, say coil 1 is called as a primary coil 2 is called as a secondary coil in this figure. Thereafter, two coils with their plane facing each other. The primary coil is connected to connected in series with a rheostat, thereafter battery and key, and a secondary coil is connected to a sensitive galvanometer. Sensitive galvanometer means even a small current is flowing through the circuit, it shows a larger deflection. Then we say that this galvanometer is more sensitive. When current in primary is closed, actually what happens when circuit in primary is closed or broken by key, mean in this case when key is closed supposed to be. As soon as key is closed, current goes on increasing in the circuit or goes on increasing in the coil, primary coil. And as current goes on increasing, it takes a certain time to increase or to reach the maximum value or peak value. It is not an instantaneous process. Directly current becomes maximum. So it takes certain time to increase. And as current in the primary coil goes on increasing, what happens there then? The magnetic field surrounded to the coil goes on increasing. And as this magnetic field goes on increasing, the secondary coil comes in the increasing magnetic field of primary coil. And as secondary coil comes in the increasing magnetic field of secondary coil, then what happens? Again, a current is produced in the circuit. Thereafter, suppose key is open. As key is open, then what happens there then? As soon as key is open, then current goes on decreasing. It is not instantaneously, it slowly goes on decreasing. As soon as it goes on decreasing, again what happens there then? As current decreases, magnetic field of the coil, primary coil, decreases. And as magnetic field goes on decreasing, then coil 2 is in decreasing magnetic field of coil 1. Again, current is produced in the secondary coil in opposite direction. Means whether key is closed or open, in both cases, a current is produced in the secondary coil in opposite directions. Thereafter, another thing, so long as there is a relative motion between the coils, not closed circuit, induced current is produced. Means suppose key is closed, then steady current is set up in the coil. As steady current is set up in the coil after a certain time, then what happens? This coil produces a fixed magnetic field. But suppose this coil is moving away from the second coil, or second coil is moving away from the first coil. Due to away motion, this second coil comes again in decreasing magnetic field. Because magnetic field of the primary coil is constant. But secondary coil moving away or towards. And because of it, what happens there then? Again, current is induced in the coil. Because secondary coil comes in the decreasing magnetic field. Thereafter, another case is also there when by changing the means increasing or decreasing current in the circuit with the help of rheostat. Means with the help of rheostat we can increase the current or we can decrease the current. As soon as we increase the current with the help of rheostat, what happens then? Again, the magnetic field of first coil goes on increasing. Current increases means magnetic field increases, and secondary coil comes again in increasing magnetic field, again current is set up. Or with the help of rheostat, current is decreases, then what happens there then? Magnetic field decreases, secondary coil comes in the decreasing magnetic field, again EMF is induced or current is set up in a opposite direction. That means in all these experiments, we can make the certain conclusions. Okay? Or above observations, we make certain conclusions. So long as there is a change in magnetic flux with a coil and EMF is induced in the coil or current is produced in the closed circuit. EMF is induced in the coil and it sends a current in the closed circuit, means current is produced in the closed circuit. Doesn't matter whatever maybe you can say. The magnitude of induced EMF or induced current is depends on how fast the magnetic flux changes. And the direction of induced EMF is opposite to the change in flux. Means as soon as magnetic EMF is induced or current is set up, this current opposes the change in magnetic flux which produces it. Thereafter, these are the conclusions we made. With the help of these conclusions, Faraday gives his two laws about electromagnetic inductions, and these laws are as given. Faraday's first law, it is a qualitative law. It shows the quality. Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux, you know well known what is the change in magnetic flux. Magnetic flux change means magnetic field changes or magnetic lines of forces goes on increasing or decreasing. Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux in a closed circuit, or you can say in a coil also, and EMF is induced in the circuit, means voltage is generated in the circuit, or as soon as voltage is generated, it sends a current in the closed circuit. Or you say EMF is induced in the circuit or current is produced in the closed circuit. Whatever maybe you can say. Doesn't matter. Means whenever there is a change, again one time, whenever there is a change in magnetic flux in the closed circuit, and EMF is induced in the circuit. And second law we consider, it is a quantitative law, means how much amount of EMF is induced or how much amount of current is produced or induced in the closed circuit. Then the magnitude of induced EMF in the circuit is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux linked with the coil. Mean how fast the magnetic field changes, how fast the change in flux. Okay, or flux changes per unit time. Then more faster the change, then more the EMF induced or more the current produces there. Means second law gives how much amount of EMF is induced. The magnitude of induced EMF in the circuit is directly proportional to rate of change of magnetic flux linked with the circuit. Then if phi be the flux linked with the coil at any instant, then induced EMF E equals to what? E is directly proportional to d phi by dt by second law. Thereafter we go through E equal to, if we take equal to sign, K is the constant of proportionality. But suppose we take E, phi and T measure in the same systems of unit. Means suppose E is measured in volts, flux is measured in Weber, and T is measured in seconds, means all are in SI units, then constant of proportionality is taken as a 1, and E equal to, directly you can take here d phi by dt. Comparing this expression with the first law, then E equal to minus d phi by dt. Here negative sign shows that from the observations of the experiments made by the Faraday's, then negative sign indicate that the change in flux, rate of change of flux and EMF both are in opposite. Means changing, that means induced EMF opposes the change in flux. Okay. the change in magnetic field is opposite directions. This is the meaning. For a coil of n turns, means suppose we consider a coil of n turn. For 1 turn, you take d phi by dt. But for n turn, you can take here minus n d phi by dt. SI unit of E is volt. For d phi by dt, Weber per meter. In short, then question arises, why EMF is induced due to change in magnetic flux? Why EMF is induced due to change in magnetic flux? In 11th standard, you learn about Lorentz force. Means when charge is moving in the magnetic field, then it is exerted by the force. And this force equals to what? Vector F equal to Q V cross B. Means this force depends upon the magnitude of the charge, velocity, as well as a magnetic induction. Then look here. The coil or closed circuit consists of so many electrons. Means they are the negatively charged particles. And as they are kept in changing magnetic field, doesn't matter charge is moving or doesn't matter magnetic field is moving. It is a relative motion. As this magnetic field is changing, then no doubt these electrons which are comes in the electric field of changing magnetic field, and because of this changing magnetic field, they are exerted by the Lorentz force. And because of this force, they are motivated in a particular direction or moves in a particular direction. They get drift velocity in a particular direction. And we say that as these electrons start moving, we say that current is set up in a opposite direction. Simple logic is there. Then a time varying magnetic field, means changing magnetic field with time, exerts a force on a stationary charge. Which force it is? A Lorentz force. And inside the conductor, and causes an induced EMF across the ends. This is the fact. Okay. Thereafter, we are looking forward another topic. It is the Lenz law. Then look here. Lenz gives or work about direction of induced EMF. Means the direction of induced EMF or induced current, whatever maybe you can say, is such as to oppose any change in magnetic flux which produces it. I mean, look the thing. That means the change in magnetic flux that change in magnetic flux produces an EMF in the coil or current in the coil. And as soon as this current is set up in the coil or closed circuit, what happens? It opposes to change. It opposes to change. It is just like as a electric inertia. Means inertia. Means suppose you are in the bus and bus is at rest, you are also at rest. But as soon as bus starts, you are going forward. You does not want to move along with the bus. You opposes your motion. Okay? Or you does not want to go along with the bus. But still bus is carrying to you. And another case we go through. As bus is moving with uniform velocity, you are adjusted yourself, you are also moving with uniform velocity. But as soon as bus stops or the driver suddenly applies the brake, then you does not want to change your state of motion. Meaning you move forward direction. Meaning you reluctant to change your state of motion. At rest, you does not want to move along with the bus, But as soon as bus is moving, you are adjusted, and as soon as bus stops, you does not want to stop. Means you want to maintain your state of rest or of uniform motion. It is the inertia. It is the mechanical inertia. Okay, it is given by Faraday's Newton's first law. Similarly, there is the electrical inertia. It is the universal tendency of the universal tendency is there. That means this coil does not want to generate a current. This coil does not want to induce EMF in it. It opposes to change in to increasing current in its. And then how it can oppose? It opposes the change in magnetic flux, which produces it. Means the direction of induced EMF, or you can say current also, is such as to oppose any change in magnetic flux which produces it. This definition is not given in your book. This definition is included from the old books. Thereafter, we go through explanation. Consider a N pole moving towards a conducting loop as shown in figure. Look here, this is the loop. Here we go through. And here, a N pole of the magnet is facing, or it is this magnet is falling toward the closed loop. Okay. As magnet moves toward the loop, current induced in the loop. No doubt, this loop comes in the magnetic field of the increasing magnetic field of the magnet. So EMF is induced, and as soon as or current is induced in the loop, and due to induced current, loop becomes a magnetic dipole. We know that a circular coil carries a current; it behaves as a magnet. That means it two faces shows two different poles, N pole and S pole. Then question arises, here N pole of the magnet is facing here. And look here, when it is false, then what happens? Here N pole is set up. Means look here, in this direction current is set up. Means anti-clockwise sense is supposed to be. Current is set up in this direction. And N pole is facing. Means look here, as soon as current is induced in the coil, this coil or circular loop becomes a magnet, and as it becomes a magnet, it created N pole facing to the N pole of the magnet. And we know that N pole of the magnet and N pole of the loop opposes each other. Means this induced current in the loop opposes the motion of the magnet. Means this loop does not want to come magnet towards it. It opposes its motion. And due to it, it produces. Okay. Thereafter, another way is there. Due to induced current, loop becomes a magnetic dipole, and the loop dipole opposes the motion of the magnet by creating N pole facing N pole of the magnet and repulse it. As N pole is created upper face, means by right hand rule, the direction of current is in anti-clockwise direction. Look here. If the magnet is pulled away, other way is there. Suppose magnet is pulled away from it, like it. Means magnet is away motion. And as magnet is moving away, then what happens? The direction of current is reverse. And as direction of current is reverse, in this case, look here. Suppose this magnet is moving away from it, meaning N pole is facing supposed to be. Then look here, S pole is generated. Means current is flowing in a clockwise direction, like it. And as S pole is set up, then what happens there then? N pole of the magnet and S pole of the loop having an attraction. Means it does not want to move the magnet away from it. Because of the away motion of the magnet, current is induced or current is produced in the loop. And this induced current opposes the motion of the magnet. Means away motion of the magnet. Means look interesting fact. This induced current does not want to move the magnet towards it or to move the magnet away from it. Mean in short, what happened there then? This loop does not want to increase or produce a EMF or current in it. Okay, that's why it opposes the motion of the magnet. Mean this induced current will now flow in a clockwise direction. Thereafter, we go through another thing. Look here in this figure again, same things are given. A side view is taken here. Then we go through how Lenz's law helps to law of conservation of energy. Then the change in magnetic flux through the circuit opposes by induced current. No doubt. It tried to retain as it is. It does not want to increase the EMF or current induced in it. So it opposes the motion of the magnet, or it opposes the change in flux which produces it. Okay? Thereafter, the change in flux through the coil is opposed by the induced current. Another thing, if the induced current in the circuit assists the magnetic flux, then there is a infinite growth of both and produces a Joule setting effect, and no extra cost is there. Means look the thing in this figure supposed to be, or in this figure you can take here, when magnet is moving towards, means once you push the magnet toward the coil, and here N pole is facing suppose, and here this coil's S pole is created suppose. Means NNS attraction. Means there is no work done to move the magnet toward the coil. And as there is no work done to move the magnet toward the coil, means to move the magnet toward the coil, some work is done. And as this magnet is moving toward the coil, some work is done. But suppose here N pole is facing and here S pole is facing, then what happens there then? Then not necessary to move the magnet. Once magnet is pushed, it is automatically moved toward the coil. And as this magnet is automatically moved toward the coil, there is no work done. Meaning instead of doing any extra work, we get a induced current or induced EMF. Okay? Means no energy is spent and we get a current. And as current is induced here, means then what happens there then? Here S pole is created, it attracts more and more, means more current is set up. And as more current is set up, means more heat is produced outward. Means no extra cost, or without moving it, we get a heat energy. And it violates the law of conservation of energy. Means what conservation of energy suggested? Give some, take some. Perform the work or give some, means some energy, one energy in one form converted into other form. Okay? That means no energy is created itself. It only transfer from one form to another form. Means simple rule is there, give some, take some. Means to move the magnet, some work is done, and this work is converted into electric energy. And as electric energy is generated, means again as current is set up, then heat energy is generated. But if opposite is true, then what happens? No extra cost, we get heat energy in the coil or electric energy in the coil. And it violates the law of conservation of energy. So, then what happens? This violates the law of conservation of energy. Thus, Lenz's law necessity consequence of the law of conservation of energy. Okay? Then the opposing sense of an induced current gives the Lenz's law every effect of the induction acts in opposite to cause that produce it. Mean in your book, other definition of the Lenz law is given. Every effect of induction acts opposition to the cause of produce it. Mean induction effect opposes the cause which produces it. This is the Lenz law. Okay. Thereafter, we are going forward. Another thing, what is the relation between Lenz law and Faraday's law, or how Lenz law, Faraday's law includes the Lenz law, includes or incorporates the Lenz law. Then, according to Faraday's law, we know that E equal to minus d phi by dt. Consider area of the loop perpendicular to the magnetic field B. Then look here, suppose we consider here is the area and this is the magnetic field. And as this area is there, then area is having its area vector, and this area vector is always perpendicular to the plane of the area. I mean, look here, this is the direction of magnetic field. This is also direction of area vector. Mean area vector means area is perpendicular to the magnetic field, means what happens? Its area vector is in the direction of magnetic field, because area vector is also perpendicular to the plane of the area. Okay, means the angle between magnetic field and area vector is 0. Another way, if area is a parallel, means suppose in this case, suppose area is a parallel like x, and as area is parallel, then area vector is perpendicular to it, means the angle between B and A is 90 degree. Okay, simple way. Thereafter, we are come across another thing, means suppose we consider this area vector and magnetic field are in the same direction. What is the angle between them then? That is 0. The magnetic field increases with time. Means we know that magnetic flux equal to magnetic field, it is the dot product of magnetic field and area vector. Okay, B vector B dot A. Then E equals to, putting this value of flux in above equation, then we get minus d B vector B dot A upon dt. Then you can take here, suppose we consider area is constant and there is a change in magnetic field. You can take a change in area also. Mean you can take here B outside and A is inside the derivative. But here the magnetic field is changing and area is kept constant. Then what happens? Mod of vector A d by dt mod of vector B. Means mod of vector A means area vector is a positive, always positive. Magnetic field is also positive. Means both quantities are positive quantities. Means dB by dt is positive, B increases with time. Then according to screw rule or right hand rule, a current flows in a clockwise or positive direction. Means current should be flow in a positive direction. But it not happens. Because according to Faraday's law, we know that it opposes the change in magnetic flux which produces it. Then what happens? Current is, that means here A is positive, dB by dt is positive, two positive values. Then RHS is a positive, then LHS is also positive. But it is a negative value. LHS is a negative value. Then what happens there? The induced current in the loop is in anti-clockwise direction. I mean current should be flowing in a clockwise direction because both are the positive. But actual fact is that current is flowing in opposite direction. Thus, the LHS is a negative quantity in order to equal to RHS. Then what happens? Thus, negative sign in the equation E equal to minus d pi by dt incorporates or includes Lenz law. Absorbs, you can say incorporate means includes Lenz law into Faraday's law. Means Lenz law is included or incorporate with Faraday's law. This is the conclusion. One question should be there. 2 marks question. Why a Lenz law is incorporate with Faraday's law. Okay. Thereafter we are going forward. Another topic, flux of the field. Consider a small element of area. Means suppose we consider a big area and here we take a small element of the area, say vector dA. Its direction is perpendicular to the plane of the outward given by right hand rule. Perpendicular to the plane. Means here, look here, this is a small area whose direction is perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Here, your mobile here, there, maybe mobile or laptop. Then, suppose that the area vector dA situated in the magnetic field vector B. Then flux vector B through the area dA is given by d phi equal to vector B dot dA or mod of vector B mod of vector dA cos of theta. To find the flux over a finite area S, means suppose yes, this area is divided into small sections of area dA. So flux through this section is B dot dA. Means flux through the small section, the small area is dA. Then flux through the total area is what? Integration. Means flux equals to integration of vector B dot dA. If the magnetic field at every point changes with time, then flux also changes with time. Means there is a change in magnetic field. So you can take here phi equal to phi function t equal to integration of vector b function t, b is the function of t, then dot area vector, dA vector dA. Faraday discoveries that the rate of change of flux d phi by dt is related to work done. Then to take the unit positive charge around the closed circuit is reverse direction. The work done is just look here in this direction. That means work done, Faraday's according to work done to take the unit positive charge through this circuit here in this way, in this direction, C direction. Look the thing. E equals to minus d phi by dt, or you can take here minus d by dt integration of vector b is the function of t, vector dA. Even vector b does not change with time, the flux still vary, yet changing with time. Okay. Thereafter, we are going forward. Our next topic, a motional electromotive force in the next lecture. Today it's enough. Have a good day.